Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session today on how to increase your adaptability personally, professionally, and on projects. During this session, I'm going to present a number of tips or ideas for each of those categories. We've got 6 tips to increase your personal adaptability, 4 tips for professional, and 6 for on projects. So I guess on average, that's about 5 for each area. Plus, I'm going to provide some other resources. Those can all be found on a reference sheet, and you can see the URL on your slide here. That URL will take you directly to the sheet, and it will provide links to all the references that I'm going to discuss, as well as the tips. So, but before we get into the tips, let's have a little fun and take a look at a company that has demonstrated some amazing adaptability. It'll be much more fun if you don't Google this, please, but instead play along and let's see if you can figure out the company that I am talking about. And okay, so what company is this? In September 23rd, 1889, this company was founded as a playing card company. They sold hand-painted playing cards, which in the early 1900s grew to be the largest card-selling business and most popular brand in Japan. In the 1960s, they expanded this to create a love hotel where you can rent rooms by the hour. Basically, the CEO, or the great-grandson of the founder, opened his own hotel because others required that you take a room for a whole night, and he didn't like that. They also created a taxi service, and that was quickly dissolved when they had a labor union dispute, and it turned costly. And then they had also created an instant rice company, and that was in the 60s. Then the 70s came along and they returned back to their historic roots in gaming. They created the beam gun that was used in video arcades, both the coin-operated and the work-at-home to work at home on devices that other companies created. So I bet some of you may have some ideas of who I'm actually talking about. Okay, I see your chats coming in. Thank you. Yeah, I see some guesses. I love it. Please, yeah, through the Q&A or through the chat box, let me know what you think. In the 1980s, they released their own game consoles and handheld gaming device, so they no longer had to play their games on other people's devices. And in the 1990s, Pokemon was released, and that's a pretty good clue. I bet a lot of you now know who this is. And if you have ideas, chat it in. I'd like to hear from you. I've heard from a few. Some of you are right, some are not. Some are not. You're getting there. In August of 2020, it was named the richest company in Japan by The Gamer. And do we know now? And so now they have sold over 4.7 billion video games. Who is it? Who is it? Well, the answer is Nintendo. And what you can see on the slide here is the evolution of their logo over time. And some of you got this right away, so thank you for that. And I had other guesses like bicycle, Atari, and some other thoughts there. But here you can see the evolution of their logo over time. And I thought that this was a terrific case study in flexibility and in reinventing yourself. I mean, think about the changing times that Nintendo has seen since 1889 until now. I mean, that's amazing, right? They have a 130-year history. Or you could just say, well, this is a terrific case study on how to go from traditional playing cards to video game giant in 8 or 12 or I don't know however many easy quote steps, right? Right. Okay, so here we have a company that's been able to adapt to changing environments really well. So what can we learn from this? Well, let's talk about the 2020 reevaluation. As I said before, I'm going to offer a lot of resources during this session. If you want direct access, just type in that link or copy paste that link if you can. And you can get a reference sheet with all the resources. But in 2020, the pandemic forced almost everyone in every organization to take a step back to reevaluate what they were doing and how. If you were adaptable, you could see the necessary steps to take, or at least tried to take, to remain relevant and productive. Like, for example, while some organizations had teleworkers before, now it's not only a necessity, but it applied to all workers. And that's really a huge difference. I mean, some adapted well and others did not. Pivot was the buzzword for 2020. I think I heard pivot like a million times. I was just like, if I hear pivot again, but pivot was the main buzzword for 2020. Service businesses had to pivot to reach their customers. So they started offering curbside pickup, offering deliveries, adjusting the products that they sold. They were doing a lot more social media to increase their online presence or to sell through their own site rather than relying on those stores that were now closed. And then other steps as well. Pivoting also occurred personally. Many of us had to make pivots. You think about, what did you have to change, or what did you have to reevaluate in 2020? And this can include personal, professional, or project perspectives. Now, I'm fortunate enough to work with a team that is used to teleworking. We've been teleworking for many years. Many of us are remotely located. So we had a head start on making it all work really well, but that didn't mean that our customers were ready. So there were still some adjustments that we all had to make. The events in 2020 forced people and organizations to reevaluate what they were doing and how they were doing it. So the key last year was to be adaptable. So the question is, what will 2021 bring us? Well, what changes are there going to be in the world and in your life? We don't have all the answers yet, but we're starting to see some of that shape up. Maybe there will be more work flexibility with working part-time in the office and part-time from home. For some organizations, that's definitely on the table. For others, maybe not. Having kids back in school will help, or it is already helping. Maybe it will soon help depending on your location. Maybe you're holding more video calls with family and with friends who are geographically dispersed. You could have certainly done that before, but I think people are doing it now more than they did before, and they, I think, will continue to do so after everything gets back to normal. So being adaptable, it's about recognizing trends that you can anticipate, allowing us to anticipate possible upcoming changes, reacting appropriately when a curveball is thrown at you, such as the pandemic or 9/11 or the real estate crash of 2008 if you're a homeowner, or the current run-up on real estate prices if you want to become a homeowner or if you're planning to make a move, and others. So crises are nothing new. In every decade, there are multiple crises, whether it's a temporary bear market, decreases in real estate, major corporate mergers, restructuring, downsizing, shortages, strikes, changes in the economy. Again, this is not new. And even with project management, our role as a PM, or even as a team member, but especially as a PM, it's much more strategic. Thinking strategically is emphasized more on the PMP exam now, the Project Management Professional exam, and it's also part of the talent triangle. It's an essential skill in business today, generally, but also especially for PMs. And again, being able to work through challenging situations is nothing new. It's always been important in business. So organizations have always experienced disruption.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.